Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. GH spoilers. Alexis warns Curtis. But is it already too late? General Hospital, GH spoilers for this week reveal that Alexis delivers a chilling warning to Curtis about Drew's plans for revenge as the drama heats up after the Labor Day holiday break. Labor Day TV schedule for GH. GH will not be new on Monday as it is Labor Day. In its stead, an encore episode from January will air. However, once the show returns with all new episodes, beginning Tuesday, September 2nd, the drama picks up right where it left off. Alexis, Nancy Lee Grahn, is a damn good lawyer. She knows that, and so does Curtis, Donnell Turner. She was recently hired to help with the insurance fraud case against his Aunt Stella, Vernee Watson. Alexis's warning to Curtis. Now, while Drew Cameron Matheson, may be hell-bent on getting his revenge, Alexis knows all too well about this kind of vengeance, so she's able to secure Stella's bail, for which Curtis is extremely grateful. To that end, he comes over to see. Of course, Alexis wasn't expecting to see him, but she invites him in, and naturally, she wonders if everything is okay. Curtis remarks that Drew hasn't done anything in the last few hours to hurt his family. He goes on to explain the reason for his visit. He just wanted to swing by to share his gratitude for her getting his aunt out on bail. Alexis is happy Stella is not in that place any longer, as she points out that she doesn't deserve any of this. Curtis can agree on that and is convinced his auntie is being railroaded. Alexis knows this. While Curtis may think the dust has settled on this one, Alexis has a strong and timely reminder for him. She warns him that this isn't over and that Drew is not going to let things go. You can watch the GH spoilers sneak peek here. What do you think of Alexis's dire warning? Is Drew truly out for revenge? Share your predictions in the comments below. Photo, ABC screenshot. Port Charles is no stranger to secrets, betrayals, and dangerous games. But sometimes the real drama unfolds in the quiet conversations that hint at something much darker beneath the surface. This week on General Hospital, Alexis Davis finds herself face to face with Curtis Ashford, and her warning to him could mean the difference between survival and disaster. But in true GH fashion, the question lingers. Is Alexis' insight arriving at the perfect moment, or is her concern coming far too late to save him? Alexis puts the pieces together. Alexis has always been sharp, whether as an attorney, a mother, or simply as a woman who has seen more than her fair share of danger in Port Charles. Even after giving up her law license, she remains tuned in to the undercurrents running through town. When whispers of a new threat tied to Selena Wu and her underground dealings reach Alexis' ears, she can't shake the feeling that Curtis is caught in the crossfire. Curtis has been navigating a difficult chapter of his life ever since his paralysis changed everything. His resilience, aided by Portia's unwavering support, has been admirable, but Alexis knows that Curtis has been tempted to dive back into risky territory. His nightclub, the Savoy, has long been a battleground between legitimate business and mob entanglements, and Alexis fears that the lines are blurring once again. So when Alexis sits down with Curtis for what appears to be a casual drink, the tone shifts quickly. Her questions are direct, her eyes sharp, and her instincts spot on. "Curtis," she says with quiet urgency, "whatever's going on with Selena Wu, you need to be careful. You think you're making a deal, but I've seen men like her before. She doesn't stop until she owns you." Curtis bristles at the warning. Curtis is not a man who likes being told what to do, especially when it comes to protecting his family and running his business. He has fought hard to maintain his independence in the wake of his injury, and the last thing he wants is another person, no matter how well-meaning, casting doubt on his decisions. He insists to Alexis that he has everything under control. "I've got my eyes open," he says, flashing a smile that doesn't quite mask his unease. "I can handle Selena. The Savoy is mine, and I won't let her take it away from me." But Alexis isn't convinced. She knows Curtis' pride could be his downfall, and her legal background allows her to see loopholes and traps that others miss. She warns him again, reminding him of all the men and women in Port Charles who underestimated mob power, only to wind up ruined, or worse. "Curtis, sometimes by the time you realize you're in too deep, there's no way out. Please don't ignore me on worries." What Alexis doesn't yet know is that Portia Robinson is already suspicious. Curtis has been keeping late hours, taking phone calls in private, and deflecting her questions about what's really happening at the Savoy. Portia thought his near-death experience and recovery had made him more committed to their family, but now she sees the shadows creeping back into his life. She's torn between trusting her husband and following her instincts as a doctor who knows when someone is in denial. When she later learns Alexis spoke with Curtis, Portia wonders if fate is sending her a sign. If Alexis sees danger, maybe Curtis truly is one step away from disaster. Selena Wu tightens the net. Meanwhile, Selena Wu is moving like the master strategist she is. For months, she has chipped away at Curtis' control over the Savoy, making sure her poker games run smoothly while dangling promises of financial stability. Selena doesn't make offers without expecting something in return, and she has begun to push Curtis into a corner. Now, Selena wants more than space for her games. She wants influence over the nightclub itself. She hints at expanding, even floating the idea that Curtis could become a partner in her operations. But Curtis isn't naive. He knows the word partner in Selena's vocabulary means owned. What Curtis doesn't realize, however, is that Selena already has contingencies in place. If Curtis refuses her terms, she is prepared to destroy him, both financially and socially. Her reach in Port Charles is vast, and one slip could be enough to sink the Savoy for good. Alexis sees the pattern. Back at her office at the Invader, Alexis digs deeper. She recalls past dealings between Selena and Sonny, and the quiet but lethal efficiency with which the Wu family eliminates obstacles. The more she learns, the more terrified she becomes for Curtis. Her instinct tells her this isn't just about poker games or a nightclub. It's about power, control, and loyalty. Selena doesn't tolerate half measures, and she doesn't forgive betrayal. Alexis debates whether to go further, perhaps even writing an exposé in her paper. But she hesitates, knowing it could make her a target. Still, she can't shake the image of Curtis losing everything he's fought so hard to rebuild. The question of timing. The heart of this spoiler lies in timing. Alexis has sounded the alarm, but will Curtis heed her words in time to avoid disaster? Or has Selena already maneuvered him into a position where escape is impossible? GH fans know that in Port Charles, warnings often come too late. By the time a character realizes the truth, the wheels of fate are already turning. And with Curtis' determination to stand tall despite his vulnerabilities, he may ignore Alexis until the consequences are unavoidable. Possible fallout. If Alexis is right, and her track record suggests she often is, the fallout could be devastating. Curtis could lose the Savoy. Selena might use legal loopholes, financial tricks, or brute force to seize control. Portia and Curtis' marriage could suffer. Portia has stood by Curtis through heartbreak, but if he chooses pride and secrecy over honesty, their relationship may fracture. Alexis herself could become a target. If Selena learns Alexis is poking around, she won't hesitate to shut her down. Sonny may be forced to intervene. While Sonny respects Selena, her growing influence in Port Charles may push him into uncomfortable territory, especially if it puts Curtis in jeopardy. Too late, or just in time? The spoiler teases one burning question. Alexis has delivered her warning, but has she managed to give Curtis the clarity he needs before the walls close in? Curtis stands at a crossroads. One path leads him deeper into Selena's grip, a dangerous entanglement that could destroy everything he loves. The other path requires him to swallow his pride, accept help, and perhaps even ally himself with Alexis, Portia, and Sonny to fight back against Selena's encroachment. But in the unpredictable world of General Hospital, choices are rarely simple, and timing is everything. If Curtis waits too long, Alexis' words may echo in his mind only as a haunting, "What if?" Bottom line. Alexis has stepped into the role of truth-teller once again, but Curtis' future depends on whether he listens. GH fans should brace themselves for a tense showdown at the Savoy, where Curtis' pride, Selena's power, and Alexis' foresight collide. And as always in Port Charles, by the time someone realizes the danger they're in, it may already be too late.